Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock, and this is City of Heroes on the Rebirth server. We're about to go back to our level 46 Mutation Stalker Tiger Shrike, but first, I wanted to take a look at the character that I have created to be our next character, which is going to be a magical mastermind with the Demons Summoning primary, and I decided on the Pain secondary because I've done Pain and I've done Flame as a tanker, so I decided let's do Pain and see how it goes. So I've created this character. Her name is Nightmare Lass. I thought a lot about names, and I decided I really like having this sort of boy, girl, lad, lass, and so on these names. It's classical, so I really like the idea. She is pretty much an evil magician, an evil sorceress, witch, whatever you want to call it, who managed to find a way to extract evil things from nightmares. And so she can whip you with the pain of your own nightmares, or she can summon up your worst or her worst nightmares. That's what the demons are. And she can give you the pain of your nightmares. And she's made a pact with some demon to do this, and the demon has given her these fire wings. And so she's going to be flying, among other things. She will fly, but she obviously can't do that yet. So she's in the tutorial, and I made one little mistake. I meant to color this belt gray like the trim, and I forgot to do it because I built her using the matching colors so that everything matched, and then I deselected the match and I colored the arms, and I tried to remember to do this, and I just forgot to do the skull belt. So we will get to that first time she gets to a costume shop. First, we're going to get through the tutorial and everything, and we'll do that after we've finished with Tiger Shrike, getting her to 50th level. But I just wanted you guys to see that's sort of a collaboration between me and you guys. We went Mastermind, we went Demon Summoning, and then Pain, and this will be the next character we do. I think she's going to be really cool and interesting, and yes, it's another female character. That's just what came to me when I started thinking about a character that had whips. I looked into a more sort of dominatrix looking costume. I just really didn't like any of them, and I thought this thing looked really evil and cool. So this is the witch costume. All of the components are the one of the witch components. There are a couple different ones. So like the boots, there are two different boot variants for the witch and two different glove variants. So I can't remember which one I picked. But you should be able to make all these costume pieces yourself if you want to replicate it. And that is all available in the standard costume pieces, I believe, on Rebirth. So now we're going to go back to Tiger Shrike, who's level 46, and I'm really screwed up with this character. After finishing Indigo's story arc, I went to Crimson, and I started doing his missions. He was perfectly happy to give me missions, and I went all the way up here. I did three-quarters of a level worth of missions, and he never gave me a story arc. He gave me these missions that were mini arcs, right? Didn't give me a book, didn't get any badges or souvenirs for them. It was, you do a mission, and then it will lead you to another mission, go talk to Indigo, do another mission, 4, 5, 6 missions in, still not a story arc. I finally looked it up. What the heck is going on? Well, he doesn't give you story arcs till level 49, and I want to punch the developers. Why does he even give me missions if he's not going to give me story arcs? That's really annoying. Meanwhile, Harvey Mailer, I did 2 missions for him, and he gave me a story arc. And I was trying to do Crimson because I thought his stuff was pretty cool. It is. It's the Worldwide Red or whatever it is storyline, and it's a really cool story, but you can't get it till you're level 49, and I didn't know that, and he doesn't tell you that, or if he did, I missed it. So anyway, we got a lot of experience without me recording, and now we are in a story arc for Harvey Mailer. And so this mission is to defeat all Carnies. So we're going to be fighting Carnies. So one of his reporters has been kidnapped, named Ellie Weissman, and you got to go save her. I have reduced the notoriety to +2. I just did that recently. So why did I do that? Is it because I can't do it on +3 against +3s and 4s? No. You've seen me do it successfully. The problem is that there's just way too much missing. It aggravates me to no end, and it just draws out the missions. It doesn't really make the missions that much harder. Yeah, they're a little harder. What it mostly just does is make them, especially the defeat all missions, take forever. And in particular, if you're fighting Knives of Artemis, which I was doing a lot when I was working for Crimson, they can see through my hide, right? So now I'm fighting +4s, so at 46 you're fighting 50s. Even if you just got click the glowy, right? Like this is Find Ellie's notes. I don't, if this wasn't defeat all, you still have to fight every single Knife of Artemis in the mission because they can see you, right? So you can't stand next to them like this. You can't just run past them like this. You have to defeat every one. And it was just taking forever to complete missions because those guys have a huge dodge. And so I was just whiffing constantly. I was having to carry like a whole tray of yellows just to hit them. It was absolutely ridiculous. And it wasn't fun. It wasn't like they had any chance to beat me. It was just taking forever to fight them. Every battle was like a boss battle. And yeah, that's not worth it. So I decided to go back to +2s. That's going to make it a little easier, but um, I can't take all the missing, especially against the Knives of Artemis. And so yeah, against Carnies it'll be a little easy, but I don't know when the knives are going to show back up because they show up a lot in these levels. And so yeah, we're just going back to +2s. The elite bosses will still be a challenge, but one of the things that's really aggravating when you're fighting +4s is for a lot of the mobs, especially any that have any kind of lethal resistance, you can't even one-shot with a built-up Assassin Strike. You can't even one-shot a minion. Well, that's just ridiculous. That's not why I play a Stalker, right? I play a Stalker to do this, one-shot, right? Yes, it could be argued that one-shotting things makes it too easy, and maybe it does, but the whole point of being a Stalker is to Assassin Strike things. If you can't Assassin Strike them, why bother, right? And one of the really beautiful things about a Stalker is if you get something like these Illusionists, which are annoying, usually with most Lieutenants you can do a built-up Assassin Strike. You can only do it to one, but you can do a built-up Assassin Strike, and they're gone. And you see, she's not going to annoy me. But if she's purple, right, and that was only a +2. If she's +4, I do a built-up Assassin Strike, and she's still got a third of her hit points left, and then I've got to fight her just as if I was a Scrapper, right? I mean, I could do a built-up Crane Kick with the Scrapper and take her down 3/4 of her hit points, right? And so, to me, that just, I wasn't enjoying my Stalker because I couldn't really be a Stalker, right? I wasn't able to sneak because of the Knives of Artemis, and then when I was able to sneak against +4 Lieutenants, which I found over and over again in these +3 missions, right? And that's just the way the game works. I wasn't able to really assassinate them either, and so I was in a situation where unless I got only +3 minions in the spawn, I couldn't even be an assassin. And that's not why I'm playing this character. If I wanted to fight like a Scrapper, I'd be playing a Scrapper. So I finally bit the bullet and said, okay, I'm just going to go back to +2s. To be fair, that's really all Silver Phoenix did. It's not like this character isn't doing as much as Silver Phoenix did, right? The Scrapper. I never put the Scrapper on +3. I don't think I still have her at +3. Maybe I do now at level 50. But through the 40s, I certainly didn't. I put her on +2 times 2. I haven't done that with this character. I might. One of the reasons I haven't upped the number of enemies is because you can only do Assassin Strike once no matter what the spawn has in it, right? And so if you up the number of enemies, right, in a regular spawn we can assassinate 1/3 of the spawn, right, or half if it's a Lieutenant. If you up it to say a ×2 or ×3 players, you're only still going to be able to assassinate once. So now you're assassinating like a third of the spawn, or a quarter of the spawn, a fifth of the spawn, or a sixth of the spawn, right, instead of half or third. And so it just reduces the percent of enemies that you can assassinate. And I know assassinating, is a one-shot kill and it's really easy, but again, I'm playing this character to be an assassin. And so I don't want to spend most of her time just fighting like a Scrapper. If I were going to do that, I'd play a Brute or a Scrapper, right? I want her to be sneaking around. I want her to be able to one-shot things. That's part of the fun. So like these guys, I should be able to one-shot them because they're not purple. Yep. Now that takes a build-up because he was red and he has resistance. These other characters probably wouldn't take build-up. I'm not really sure. So yeah, I definitely used a lot more inspirations against the +4s, and I definitely had some issues. A couple times I died against minions, but mostly when I was being careless. But I wasn't, despite the fact that I tend to prefer it to be a challenge, especially when I'm playing a Stalker, I wasn't having, a Scrapper I mean, I wasn't having as much fun with this character because I like assassinating. And that's what I play her for. So, I wish I could get 100% +3s in a +3 mission. That would really make me happy. The +2s are too weak, and the +4s, they're not too powerful, but they're too annoying, especially if you're gonna miss a lot. I mean, that's really the big problem, right? It's not so much, you know, the damage they do. I can regen that. Even the resistances, I don't mind hitting a lot against high resistance. What I don't like is the constant whiffing. And since we don't have any sets because we're on SOs, you know, we have no choice but to be constantly whiffing if we're fighting +4s. So like this thing, I don't know if we're going to be able to one-shot it. I doubt it. No, of course, because she went desolid. So these things are annoying enough. At +3, you can imagine how much more annoying they are at +4, right? Because they stand in there long enough to go desolid multiple times, and it just takes forever, and there's no chance she's going to hurt me. I have full hit points. She can't do anything to me. So it's just making it take longer, right? And this is a +3. Imagine a +4, right? Take even longer because instead of doing 179 with that hit, we'd be doing like 149. Right, now again, didn't do anything to my endurance or to my hit points. It just took forever, right? And now it'd be even worse if she was a +4 because I'd be missing a lot more and that kind of thing. And so I just decided, you know, this wasn't really fun, and I'm playing this game to have fun, so I went back to +2s. I did it very recently. I mean, like, just maybe 2 or 3 missions before starting recording. And so, I don't know, I might get bored and go back to +4s. I really wish that this server had the homecoming mod that allows you to set the notoriety from down here, because then I might play games with doing like every other mission. But because you can only reset your notoriety by going to Steel Canyon, and it's a pain in the neck, it's a disincentive to keep changing it. The heck with it, I'll just do +2s. Believe me, you guys don't want me running +4s while I'm recording, because I'll be having to constantly mute out all the cursing. Right? Again, not because I'm losing fights. This character died maybe 3 times in 7/10 of a level, so, and at least one of those was against an elite boss. It just wasn't having any fun playing it that way. So we're back to +2s, and hopefully people don't mind that. Where is our contact? There we go. So, what was our clue? Our clue is that she's in the carnival's clutches, so he just broke the news to her parents, and now he says, according to the calendar that you found, Ellie met with a Percy Winkley. Yeah, we've met him before. Right before she was kidnapped, perhaps Mr. Winkley knows something about it. Can you go and ask Maria Jenkins where is the library that Percy Winkley is doing his research in, because he's working in a Midnight Squad library. Yeah, I didn't have to read any of that because I played this mission before. So she wouldn't normally divulge the Midnight Squad's underground library, but she'll do this for Ellie Weissman. So I gotta go to Bricktown, and I will just auto teleport there. Now that we're done talking about why I'm on +2s, let me go ahead and once we arrive at our mission site, I will show you where my slots are. I haven't bought any enhancements because we're level 46, and in one bead we're going to be 47, and it's going to be time to buy new enhancement sets or new SOs. And this will be the last round of SOs we do. After level 47, when I get new slots, I'm going to try to do invention enhancements because there's really no point to doing SOs anymore, and you know, things can't really expire ever because you can only ever be 50th. But by 50th, then it's time to start doing inventions. So anyway, let's take a look. We have 37 million influence, which is a huge amount of influence. Um, and that includes, I haven't even touched the auction house in like, I don't know how many levels. In terms of slotting, I have fully 6 slotted physical perfection. I haven't put anything in there, but eventually there'll be 3 endurance mods. I definitely need that, and 3 health mods. And I added a slot to Shockwave at 47. We're going to get Revive at 48. We will finish Shockwave, I believe. And not sure what I'm going to do with the other slots. We'll have 1 slot. I might double slot Focused Accuracy. I mean, the other possibility is to triple slot Superior Conditioning, get our endurance up to 110, but I think we might be better off reducing. Yikes. I mean, look at the endurance cost on this thing. I think we might want to put a second endurance reducer on here. And compare that 6/10 of an endurance a second to integration, which the base of integration is 0.26. And it's 0.2 with a endurance reducer on it. So this thing is like running 3 toggles. That's why it's killing endurance, because it's running 3 toggles plus integration. It's like we're running 4 and hide. It's like we're running 5 toggles, and that's what's killing me. And by the way, that's why I'm never going to get another toggle for this character. So maybe we'll put another endurance reducer on Focused Accuracy. We might get the most bang for our buck there. And then with physical perfection, we'll have triple endurance reducers and triple health regens. And so then we'll finish Shockwave at 48. 49, we're going to get some other power. I have no idea what the heck we're going to get. And then 50. Gosh, I really wanted a 6-slot Moment of Glory too. I wanted to put heals on it and recharges. And the only way to do that would be to do it at 48 and 50. Right? We would just have to leave Shockwave alone. Put 1 more endurance reducer on Focused Accuracy, leave Shockwave with a single damage. We don't use it that much anyway. And 6-slot Moment of Glory, so that it does more heal. And we can use it every 2 minutes. Right? And then, you know, well, that does resistance, not heal. I'm thinking it's instant healing. Never mind, guys. I think we do want to put 1 more slot on Moment of Glory so we can use it more often, but we want to do these other powers more. I was thinking it had a heal component like instant healing, but it does not. It does resistance, and there's no point to doing the resistance because it already puts you at 75%, which is more than enough. I mean, if you could make it perma or something, that'd be different. But you can't really make it permanent, so there's no point to making the resistance that awesome, because it's only going to help you for a few seconds anyway. So we're looking for Percy Winkley. See if we can find him. I don't know if we're going to have to lead him out. I don't think so. My assumption is he's as deep in as you can go. Certainly assassinate the lieutenants. I'm perfectly happy to do that. Let's see, where are we on this? to try to go south, I think. I heard somebody above me, I believe. Yeah. No, that's not above. I thought there was maybe a floor up here, but maybe not. Alright. We're going the wrong way. I want to go south, I think. So let's try that. There we go. Nope, that's a dead end. I gotta be missing something. I'm certain. Let me take this off so I stop running into the walls. Certain that this last room has a way out. I'm just not remembering where that is. So let's look at it in a little bit more slowly and deliberately. There, that's what I knew. There was a way up. I was looking at it from the wrong side. She's gonna go intangible watch. Oh, maybe not. Yeah. So this is one of these where you can keep going, I think. Yep. Another lieutenant. I don't think we can one-shot him without build-up, right? No. Close. Let's see if we can inspect this. Where else can we go here? Ah. Yeah, these are really labyrinthine mazes. And honestly, the only reason I know where I'm going at all is because I've been in here enough times that I remembered this kind of thing existed. But I remember the very first time I was in one of these, I could not find the hostage. And I was like up here and I didn't realize this tunnel came down. And even when I went back to Homecoming and started playing the game again, I knew that there was something, like what I just did now, I knew there was something going on with that room down there, but I couldn't remember. And I still couldn't find what I was looking for. Now this time I found it a little more quickly. But this map always confuses me. I have a friend who, whenever we get on one of these maps, he grumbles because he's like, it's hard to find anything on these maps. There are passageways where you don't expect them to be based on just the map logic. And they're like above each other and below each other, and those passageways don't really show on the map. There's no way to show on the map that there's no three-dimensionality to the map so that one's above the other. And so it's very hard to find these guys. Alright, we got Percy here. And that is the end of that mission. So he gave us a clue. And says that he can't enlighten me about the carnival's motives, but he may be able to help us find our friend. Here's a mental monocle. It can read whatever thoughts are uppermost in another's mind. I usually break it out for laughs at parties. So Ellie had interviewed him for an article on ancient artifacts. 90% of her material was bunk, but she was convinced that she had a real story. The Bands of Shu. And so this is a magic artifact that I think not just the carnival, but a number of people are going to want their hands on. And so he says, so Ellie was asking about the Bands of Shu before she was kidnapped, eh? I wonder if they might be more powerful than the Midnight Squad realizes. I'll bet anything the carnival kidnapped Ellie to keep her from learning about the bands. So, thanks to Percy Winkley's mental monocle, we should be able to get some straight answers. So just keep questioning the Carney. So this is one of these. Oh my gosh, defeat 65 Carnies. All right, guys. I'm going to just auto-complete this mission. I think I gotta wait one day to do it. So we're gonna stop the video here. There's no way I'm gonna go look for 65 Carnies and find them in Peregrine Island, where there are only maybe 10 or 12 spawned in at a time in that zone, and then you gotta wait for them to respawn. I mean, this is like a 4-hour mission. I'm not doing that. So when I'm able to complete the mission, I will do that, and then I'll bring you guys back for another episode. Until then, I am Scarpalock, and this has been City of Heroes.